Hey y'all, it's LaShawn Bradley. Welcome back to my channel. Today, I wanted to give you guys a little emergency cast because since I have been in Bali, I've just been met with so much abundance, awareness of changes that I have to make in my life that honestly, I feel like I needed probably a couple years ago, but that's okay. We here now. Before I get into it, please hit the like, subscribe button, especially if you learned something from this video. And of course, as y'all can see in the banner, I'm giving 50% off to my solo travel now course, and it's extensive. Y'all can look at it. The link's in the description below. Okay. But this is just for a lot of my psychics who feel the need to travel, feel the need to explore and to really see and travel, not just anywhere, right? Travel to the destinations that are in alignment with them and that will heighten their spiritual powers. Okay. And I'm going to get a little bit into that in this episode. Okay. Because that's the other thing that people don't realize. There are certain places all over the world that have this heightened spiritual abilities and just energy, right? It just has heightened spiritual energy. For those of y'all in the States, there actually are so many all over the States. One really popular one is obviously San Diego. That's what a lot of people kind of tap into that spirituality. I would say certain parts of Seattle also. Um, Atlanta is another place. And then, of course, the Four Corners, too. I would say upstate New York. So there's a bunch of different places. I'm obviously not naming off all of them right now, right? But I wanted to make sure that y'all knew some of the places if you are in the States. Now, if you're outside of the States, Tulum has heightened spiritual energy. I'm trying to think of places I've been to. The jungles of Colombia, definitely. Medellin has like a huge, just huge spiritual hub there, actually. But these are all places that can really heighten your spiritual energy. And I have to say, every country has at least one location like this. And again, depending on your astrology chart, depending on kind of who you are, your preferences, there are going to be some places that are more meant for you than others, right? Because everybody who goes to Tulum, they don't necessarily say that it's for them, okay? But then there's some people who like go to Tulum, they tap into the spiritual energy of Tulum, and then they stay there, right? And so I think for me, like Bali is definitely that place. I'm going to explain to y'all why. So even before I even arrived in Bali, I was met with abundance. I was met with abundance. My housing situation was completely taken care of the day before I got to Bali. Like magic, and just through intention, right? It wasn't me searching online. It wasn't me, calling up. I did hit up some people like a couple weeks before, but literally I went on a website and I found a place that I was going to stay at, and that happened literally a day before. Okay. And then within 24 hours of me landing in Bali, I received a bunch of money unexpectedly in my bank account. Okay. So I was already met with abundance, and I'm continuing to be met with abundance every single day. I mean, it's really beautiful. It's a really beautiful feeling. And I'm not just saying that it's not just here in Bali, right? There's places like this all over the world. Okay. And for some of y'all watching, Bali might not be it for you. But for me, it's definitely one of the places that I'm very much like tapped into. And so, of course, when you get tapped into these places that have heightened spiritual energy, kind of on a basic level, you'll be met with abundance, you'll be met with love, you'll be met with now I don't say basic level, but on a surface level, that's where you're going to be met with, right? But if you kind of want to go a little bit deeper, you can start to get into your spiritual abilities. So one of the things that I've noticed is that my precognizance, seeing the future, is crazy. It's really, really crazy. I didn't notice this at first, but even yesterday, I started seeing the future of, like, for example, my YouTube channel. So I was checking like the subscribers, and it said, I think, like 1,200 or something like that. And well, that's what it said in reality, but what I saw was 1,210. Not even like an hour later, my subscribers went up from 1,200 to 1,210. But in the moment that I saw the 1,210, I didn't it wasn't the reality. I was literally seeing the future in the moment. Another time this happened, for some of y'all saw the live stream I did yesterday, right? So when I logged off that live stream, it says seven views, right? And but for some reason, I don't know why, but for some reason I saw 90. So I saw the words 90 views. But then when I checked, it only said 7. 3 hours later, it actually went past 90 views, went to 115 views. So it's like my precognizance is just like it's crazy because I've never experienced like this before. I've experienced precognizance in the sense of like having visions when I'm sleeping, or dreams that are kind of telling me certain aspects about this matrix. Okay, I've said this before, but I've had dreams that have told me how the stock market is going to move in the past, and so I've actually used that to invest in stocks that I know that are going to kind of I don't want to say explode, but they're gonna go up, right? And a lot of people have this ability too. But again, just trusting that intuition, trusting that ability. And so since I've been here in Bali, I've been able to do that so much more. And it's really helped me stay in alignment with my truth, with what I'm here to do, with how I'm here to work with people and empower people to really expand their souls and expand who they are deep inside, and then know that truth and then live with that truth, right? Because a lot of people know that truth, but they don't apply it, right? They know, okay, yeah, I'm embodying creation, I'm embodying God, but then they don't apply it. They don't understand how to apply it. They don't understand how to start perceiving the world as within you instead of something separate than you, right? Um, and this plays a huge part too when it comes to the soul expansion. It plays a huge part too in attracting your soulmate. So many people miss this part, but if you really want to attract, and when I say soulmate, I don't just mean people who are here to teach you a lesson. I mean like your life partner, right? If you want that life partner, you got to do that work. You got to expand your soul and learn how to process your emotions so that when you get with your partner, um, you can have a balance, right? If obstacles come up, you know how to work with them. If something comes up from you for you or triggers you, you know how to work with that. You're not leaning on your partner as a crutch, or you're not allowing those bottled up emotions to explode, leading to some kind of disharmony between you and your partner, right? So it all plays a part. It all plays a part with this. So being here in Bali, it's really brought a lot of awareness, and it really has heightened my spiritual abilities. Okay, so that's what I'm saying. Like I really want y'all to really tap in to travel, tap into solo travel. This is the key to a lot of y'all have traveled before. You've traveled with groups, and that's great. But when it comes to heightening your spiritual abilities, I really want to encourage y'all to do a solo trip. Okay, and maybe you have to go to the country first and you do a retreat, but then after, make sure to have a couple of days for yourself, because it's going to allow you to tap into who you truly are. Okay, and it's really going to bring you so much abundance too, because you start to really see, again, it's just another way to start to see the world as within you and not something that is separate from you, right? And so I really wanted to make this episode because yesterday I talked about the ways to kind of 10x your spiritual abilities or your psychic powers. But I feel like this is one big one that I kind of left out. And I know a lot of people, they teach like, just go within. And once you change yourself within, you'll be able to shift your reality, and that's true to some extent. But I know that there's some of y'all out there who's like, I've been doing that. I've been changing myself. I've been changing my mindset. I've been changing my soul. I've been expanding, from the environment that I've been at, and nothing's changing. And sometimes you need to change your environment in order to change yourself, or change, the circumstances that you're in. And I have to say this too, again, for some of y'all, maybe you were able to change yourself in the environment that you were in, but I'm telling you right now, a lot of psychiatrists, a lot of even business people, they know this. One of the biggest obstacles to self-development is staying in the same environment that has kept you down for years, months, weeks. Okay, so when you start to leave out of those old environments and you start to remove yourself from the people who no longer serve you, you will be met with abundance. You'll be met with heightened spiritual abilities. You will be met with just love. And sometimes it takes that. Sometimes that's really what it takes. Okay. And I know that there's a lot of practitioners out there that are saying like, oh, like, no, you can just stay in that environment. And you can. It takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of intention. And it's a challenge. And some of y'all have overcome that challenge, and we're able to not allow it to stop you from what you need to do. But for a lot of us, I'm just giving y'all like the cheat code, right? Travel, solo travel, see a new place. Okay, if you're a woman solo traveling, research some of the safest places in the world to travel to. Okay, that is like, it's so important. It's so important to travel. And not just that too, if y'all are more like money minded, we live in the Aquarian age. It is international. You want to start making those international connections. The people who aren't making those international connections, they're going to be left behind. Okay. They're going, it's kind of a lose-lose situation. You really want to start making more connections internationally. That's what's going to bring you the millions, the billions, if you really after the billions too. You need to be able, you need to travel. You just need to make those connections. And what I'm saying is like, don't just like go to a country and see, okay, I'm going to meet these famous people or these rich people in this country. It doesn't really work like that. You just need to make connections with whoever you meet, genuine connections. Okay. Because again, it's the Aquarian age. This is the time where the globe is really, or the whole world is becoming one. And we kind of experienced a little bit of that during COVID, right? Because everybody experienced COVID. It was one of the instances in like Earth's history that really united everybody, and we're going to see more of that as time progresses. And so that's what I'm saying, like, you really want to make those international connections, that international network, okay, that international family. That's so important. That soul family, it needs to be international. I'm telling y'all now, okay. And not even like, this is like, especially for people who are trying to build legacy, you need an international connection. That's it. I mean, you can try, but you're gonna be like, even if you try to just stay in your local area or even your local country, you're gonna hit a wall at some point. And when you hit that wall, and you really, but you want to get past that wall, you want to expand, you're gonna have to make those, those international connections. So that's what I'm saying. Just make them now, and don't, just make them, right. You can make them with intention. Don't necessarily like travel just to network or just to make business connections. Like, just make genuine connections, and just know that those genuine connections are what is going to help you flourish in the long run. Okay. And especially when it comes to currency, global currency. This is my opinion, but Bitcoin is the international currency. If you want to talk about, a global currency, right? Because you know how like Europe has the euro, America has the dollar. Bitcoin is the international currency. I think maybe the governments are going to try to make some kind of international currency to like combat Bitcoin, but it's just not going to work. Okay. So that's the other thing. I really want to empower y'all to invest in cryptocurrency. Do your research, find cryptocurrency that aligns with your values. Okay. Don't just like invest in any of them. But just know, again, if you want to get ahead of the game financially, that's the thing to do. Okay. The stock market is okay. But the way I put it is like, if anybody knows like what a savings bond is, I think a lot of people don't know what that is, but that used to kind of be the old way of investing. That was like kind of the old stock market. And again, if I were to ask any millennial what a savings bond is, I'm pretty sure, not even millennial, but Gen Z, I'm pretty sure they would not know what I'm talking about. And that's going to be the stock market. I want to say in about 100 years. Okay, so some of us might not be here. I definitely will be here. So, but just keep that in mind. Okay, keep that in mind. I really want to give y'all the tea, because that was one of the first things that I came across when I started traveling, solo traveling around the world. Was I was introduced to Bitcoin really early on. I was introduced to like these tech kids, not even kids, but I guess young men who were really into Bitcoin. And it was so funny because the first time they explained to me like what is it called, blockchain and all of that was, I did not understand any of it. I had to ask them I had asked 5 different people before I really understood this. But like I said, just learn it. Even if it takes you a couple of tries, it's worth it. Just know it's worth it. Okay. So that's going to be it for today. I love y'all so much. Definitely, if y'all are scared about solo traveling and you want to know how to do it right, you have 50% off only to the first 21 people. Okay. You have the code below. You have the link below just for the first 21 people. Okay. I love y'all so much. Peace.